Hi Scorpio, here's a general look at your solar chart for the whole of 2012. There's two parts of this, and this is part one. There's also another video called The Shift 2012, which goes into the major history-making aspects of the outer planets for us all over 2012. It's going to be quite a lot of change and maybe some upheaval in 2012 for us, worldwide. Now, for you, astrologically speaking, there could be a more expansive, even more lucrative time for you, maybe through close collaborations or love relationships in 2012. So that sounds pretty good. That's going to be to do with Jupiter. Both Venus and Mars are worth mention, even though they're inner, faster-moving planets. These two are going to be staying for very extended periods in two signs this year. Venus is going to be in Gemini from April the 4th to August the 8th, sharing the stage with Jupiter that comes in there in June. Venus is going to be in a long transit through your joint financial area. So that period then, April the 4th to August the 8th, means it should be easing in your financial situation. It might not be finances, it can be other equipment or resources or a venue or a space, it just makes your life a little bit easier. And so that means you should really make hay while the sun shines. There's going to be this fair cosmic wind blowing in your direction. Someone could be your banker, or someone who's just picking up the tab for you more often, or just when you need it. Maybe it's not a money tab, but maybe it's just somebody around that makes you feel more emotionally okay and relaxed. Just make sure you realize that this is sort of finite period, because that period there, June, July, August, with Venus and Jupiter, both, these planets that tend towards abundance in this financial area. If you play your cards right, you can do pretty well then. You could get the ball rolling on something, you could lay something down then, but don't expect things to stay the same way forever, because absolutely nothing ever does. But overall, I would say you will feel more supported financially or with other types of resources, and definitely you could be feeling more settled emotionally, not just over that period there, by the way, although that is quite a good period there, but it could be throughout the whole transit of Jupiter in that area, which will be a year long. Now, in 2012, Mars is going to be in Virgo Mars is going to be in Virgo until July 2012, and that is again a very extended transit, activating a very progressive area of your solar chart, meaning that you will feel like you can finally get on with something, or some plan, or some dream, or hope that's been simmering in the back of your mind, or the back burner of your life for a very long time. It might have been years and years and years. Mars is inclined to activate this area here in a very kind of proactive, dynamic sort of a way, and that energy channeling through you, of course, and use it well. Also, it could activate anything around teamwork, group efforts, networking, making the right contacts, not what you know, but who you know, and pulling in, certain people to be whatever for you, but definitely being the one who is the initiator and the motivator, being the one who's spearheading things, being the facilitator, you see, because Mars likes that. Mars rules the head. Mars likes its head. So being at the head, being at the front in some way, but of course doing it in your cool, sort of calm, friendly sort of manner, which is more likely to get you what you want. Mars can be a bit of a hothead, you see, as well. So you might have to just simmer that energy down a little bit, and you could do very, very well. It may feel as if an idea that's been hanging fire or has been gathering dust in the corner of your life, its time has finally come, and you can actually make progress at last. Now, Jupiter is in your opposite sign, Taurus, will be there until June 2012. That opens the way through growth for you, to growth for you through those in close relationship, whether that's in a professional sense or a personal sense, whether that is long-term or short-term. The tendency is for you to strike relationships with people who will teach you a lot, whether they mean to or not, but it's just that you have to learn a lot because you're in that relationship. Could get you thinking about things that you never thought you were much interested in. Because Jupiter's tendency is to expand. So it will help you broaden your territory, broaden your field of interest through their slant on things, through their needs and requirements, you see. Dynamics in relationships could link you to more travel, or those from foreign lands, or just somebody from a very different background to your own, or those from a different background, because Jupiter is about abundance. You might, be a bit spoilt for choice there, but obviously you have to sift the wheat from the chaff. The expansive, benevolent influence of Jupiter will encourage a new understanding, appreciation, and as long as you allow yourself to be plunged into sort of unfamiliar scenarios and be learning through doing, then you'll do well with this Jupiter vibration here. And also your relationship with the public could really sort of shift up a gear, and you could become very popular with people in general as well, for whatever the reason. Then the Jupiter energy changes. It switches from that area from June the 12th onwards, and then will stay for a year in this area I mentioned earlier about joint financial relationships, materially doing better, tendency to do better. If again, it's always to do with us using these energies well to play our cards right with the energies, but generally doing better. Your life could grow and expand through, an outside agency, a consultant. It might not be money. It might be somebody who's giving you confidential advice and who you're working with in that way. It might be somebody who is picking up the tab for you, somebody who's easing things financially, or maybe easing things around property, or there is a way you can find if you look, because of course you need to seek and look and knock on the door. But the Jupiter energy is sitting there holding that promise for you, you see. So you will knock on the right door if you just keep at it. And this can mean just, better conditions made available to you through a key personal or professional relationship, you see. Because of that, because of the material improvement that is potentially there for you, you will start to feel better inside and be successful, because you do feel, more calm. You Scorpios born up to the 9th of November, or with up to 17 degrees of Scorpio rising, will feel this vibration the most in 2012. Now Saturn continues its transit of the sign before yours, Libra, until October, after which time it will move into your sign, and you earlier Scorpios will feel this in the latter part of 2012, after, or rather, October onwards. So at the moment you're in this cycle of sort of tying up loose ends from your past, reviewing the past, working on maybe counterproductive behavior. You're always falling down the same old hole in the road. Why do I do that? And working on that maybe, so that's one of the ways this can manifest. And this has been, for you, a time of preparation for moving on into the next area that Saturn is going to. When Saturn moves into your sign, that will be a time of new beginnings for you, serious new beginnings in your life. So you may have felt quite sort of maybe tried and tested or overlooked because you've made yourself available for others. You've been working more behind the scenes. You haven't been able to be kind of really beating the drum and all out there in whatever way. However, karmically, you may have been coming of age in some way, because this is actually a karmic house. And you've been maybe paying your dues in preparation for this huge new cycle that's coming up beginning in October. But you could have been an overseer or pulling the strings from behind the scenes, or just beavering away, working very hard to get ready for a something that's down the road for you in your future. Maybe you've been taking the strain, and others are not really understanding how much of a strain you're taking. But at times being grateful for some appreciation and practical support coming your way as well, because this is also an area where you may have needed to lend on somebody too, and just on a daily basis building routines which make it easy for you to concentrate your energy in these ways. And close accounts with the past. This is very much about the Saturn transit and deciding what you need to keep and what you need to ditch and to move on. So it's about closure as well. And it's been a very good transit to follow a spiritual practice like yoga, something regular yoga, regular meditation, regular self-nurturing, whether it's, scuba diving or walking in the mountains, whatever it is, and some writing or working on a project like that in the background would have been a very good thing. And there's still quite a bit for it to run, but it's in the last phase, and you later Scorpios are going to be feeling this now. So you Scorpios born from 13th of November or with 21 degrees of Scorpio rising are going to feel this vibration the most. Now you can be very successful with this vibration as long as you understand that nothing happens instantaneously with Saturn transit, and you have to be very consistent and persevering and regular in your routines with Saturn transit in these areas, and then you should do very well. And then from the 6th of October, Saturn enters your sign. So then the Saturn stuff will be more kind of center stage, right, kind of in the forefront of your life. It's going to be there for 2.5 years, slowly going through your signs. So it'll be earlier Scorpios who feel this most. And in this Saturn cycle, basically, you're going to be learning how to take yourself and your needs more seriously, how to concentrate your energy consistently into those areas that ultimately create a happier, more solvent version of yourself and a more settled version of yourself. So this is the time to build those structures and to, by the sweat of your brow, but it's almost like the object you can see now, instead of it kind of being a little bit in the karmic sort of area. It's a little bit uncertain, but this is now, okay, there is my objective. This is what I've got to do, and I'm going to roll up my sleeves and get on with it. And just forming that armature for that more comfortable, happier, anchored existence. And you Scorpios born up till the 2nd of November with up to 11 degrees of Scorpio rising will feel this vibration mostly over the rest of 2012 from October. However, of course, the energy pulses through the whole of the sign, but this is the area it zeroes in on. Now, Uranus. Uranus, I will speak about Uranus in part 2, so I hope to see you there. Hi Scorpio, this is part 2 of your overview for 2012. Now, Uranus will be transiting your sector of daily work routines and health for several years. This is an energy for really taking off into new things. It's very innovative energy. It's kind of almost like fringe. It can be alternative, complementary. So that's some of the ways it can work. But it can work in other ways as well. It loves technology. It's scientific. And it's a little bit kind of weird as well, and bizarre. So some of you could be getting into the more bizarre areas or the weird areas, like maybe astrology or something similar to that, and getting skilled in that. It also rules aviation, by the way, and photography. And it rules other things as well. So anyway, you could be getting into something which is, for you, rather different and unconventional, using new approaches and different methodologies which aren't mainstream, but which can enliven your life, make it kind of interesting, but also improve the area of employment, work methods, and health as well. And some of you as well could be working more with a collective, with a group of people in a sort of a team. sort of a way, because Uranus does rule the collective mind and groups of people. So working with groups, small groups, large groups, it doesn't matter. But people who are maybe more interested in the offbeat side of things, and also anything to do with the air, because Uranus rules the air sign Aquarius, and there may be a connection, minor or major, with aviation, sailing, the internet, or anything to do with the internet, anything to do with technology, to do with any new inventions really, and also broadcasting and networking, and there's lots of other things as well, because Uranus rules airwaves. It rules waves, but particularly airwaves. And Uranus also rules sudden change and turnarounds and reversals. So a previous structure may be replaced by a new one, and you have to adapt rapidly to an inspirational, surprising but interesting sort of, a fluid environment. And you early Scorpios will be feeling this energy the most over 2012. Those with up to 9 degrees of Scorpio rising, or in the first 8-9 days of Scorpio. Now, for many years, Neptune has been making its influence felt at the roots of your chart, bringing in a feeling of uncertainty or flux about your feelings and where and with whom you will not belong. Where's your point on the map? Maybe it might have been like that. It might have been like confusing conditions to do with family, maybe around the father, or it could be parents, but more particularly around the father image, where you're anchored inside. Some of these things would have made you feel uncertain or confused at times. Which community do I belong in, etc. And at times you may have had to forego what you really would have preferred in that area, to do with family or to do with place on the map, or your space or conditions at home. You would have had to forego what really you desire for yourself, and prefer, and defer to others, you see, and maybe sometimes your boundaries have been very, very stepped on, and you feeling rather out of sync with yourself at the very root of yourself. Well, this transit is about to come to a close, and Neptune slides out of there on the 4th of February and goes into the very early part of Pisces, its home sign. This can be very good news for you, particularly you early Scorpions. This is a very different kettle of fish, excuse the pun, but from the 4th of February 2012, for many years, well over a decade, Neptune's going to be working out of a sign it really prefers, and an area for you which is a lot easier on you, and this makes a fabulous aspect to your sun sign. So over this first year, where Neptune is back at home in its own sign, you early Scorpions will feel the pull to, Scorpio rising will feel the pull maybe to speculate more on taking an outside chance on something, taking a bit of a gamble. That could be related to a project, it could be related to a love relationship, but use that personal charisma, Scorpio, to attract the resources, or the attention, or the investment that you need for an idea or a project, because Neptune here, like I said, is the planet of vision, it's the planet of imagination, it's the planet of projecting into the future from the now how you want it to be. So working very strongly with the law of attraction, that can really work for you. And it could be like an impossible dream starts to materialize, and it's almost like you've got to pinch yourself. Making no promises, because of course all of these vibrations, they come through us like neutrinos. It's up to us how we use them, right? Just stay realistic, keep one foot on the ground, and you could be very successful with this aspect. And also for those in the performance industries, the leisure industries, or some sort of sporting kind of industry, you could do very well as well. Your imagination could be working at full stretch, and a romance could really take off. But just watch out for those rose-tinted spectacles, as you're more prone to, put someone on a pedestal. But really, I think that this transit can work very well for you, because it'll get you feeling more of your own power, more of your own coming more from your creative core. So that's altogether good news. Now, the life-changing force, Pluto, which is your ruling planet, currently in Capricorn for many a long year, continues to have a very positive effect on your sign, Scorpio. It's coming out of a communications area for you, so that it might be that you get more control by mastering a language, or it could be a jargon, or it could be HTML, it could be navigation charts, it could be that you're able to interpret better dreams or psychic projections. It could be that you learn a subject very well, or you are teaching a subject very well, or you're developing speaking and writing or other forms of creative self-expression. It's about control through communications, media, and the like. And something where, Pluto's about power as well. So you can have quite a powerful effect on people. Pluto's already been here for quite a while. It's actually been here for, I shouldn't really be doing this, but I'm just going to look that up. It's been here since 2008, I think. 2008. I'm looking at my ephemeris. Yes, 2008. It might have gone a little bit before then, but around about 2008 anyway. And that's how you get your control. That's where you can evolve deeper understanding and maybe even, become more powerfully intuitive as well. And understand more about other cultures, maybe as your previous beliefs or presumptions might get cut down to size. But definitely your intuition will be working well, and your appreciation of others and your insight into secrets and what goes on behind the scenes, and how maybe we're all sometimes bewitched by a mass illusions. Here you can laser right through that, and you can dig deep. And you can have this powerful effect on others. So make sure that you use that power wisely. And it could even be that, you become aware of another dimension, a separate reality. But as I say, Pluto's in a very good angle to your sun sign. Now, and that for you in 2012 will be Scorpios who have up to 9-10 degrees of Scorpio rising. And born in the first 9-10 days of Scorpio, so that would be up until about the 3rd of November. Okay, and there's 2 solar eclipses this year. One is May the 20th and the other is in your sign, November the 13th. The first one is at 0 degrees of Gemini. And that's going to send out a pulse of energy from the eclipse date through the area of your chart related to joint resources, what you share with another. And it's more about what I was saying about where Venus is going to be, and Jupiter starting its transit through there for over a year. So again, making good changes to help on the material side of things, what you share jointly with somebody else, whether it's a minor way to do with your space, and who gets to use the stove, or, whether it's to do with debts that are owed or in fact due to you, or it could be, something on an emotional level, so you can get this all set up and sorted out, or rather take steps to do that at that stage there. That would be good time to be doing that, particularly, as I say, during the time that Venus is in there. So that will be the time, but also Jupiter too. So that would be a very good time there over those months, April, May, June, July, August, for any of sort of setting things up or getting things sorted out on a reciprocal sort of arrangement basis. And the second one is in your sign. Those of you born around about November the 13th, are going to get this very, very powerfully. And basically, it puts you and who you are and how you look and your image, but also your health on the front burner of your life. And so that would be a time to change your look, improve your health and fitness, have the makeover, the massage, do whatever you can to improve yourself from that side of things, but also work on yourself. And again, it's a neutral energy. It's not positive, it's not negative, it just allows for change. That would be a time for your life to be transformed and for you to start going forward in a different kind of a way, or just kind of improve on what you've already got going. Throughout the whole of 2012, key relationships can help you establish a firmer emotional and material foundation, and the structural support they provide, whether it's materially or emotionally, is going to be the launch pad for you to achieve success, potentially, like I say, if you play your cards right. And also, maybe you want to know when we're going to get Mercury going retrograde. So Mercury goes retrograde 3 times every year for about 3 weeks each time. And those are times that there can be delays or hold-ups or snags. So these times are going to be March the 12th to April the 4th, that's Pisces and Aries. July the 14th to August the 7th, that's Cancer and Leo. And then the last one is in your sign, November the 6th to November the 26th. So that's going to be you, Scorpio, and then Sagittarius as well. Whoops. Sorry about that. I'm in a new house here and it's all echoey. So, now, you might like to listen to your rising sign and your moon sign. You might be able to get sort of more information from those. And like I said at the beginning, listen to the Shift 2012 for those of you who are interested in hearing more about, the armature and the blueprint that's underpinning energetically all of this huge upheaval and change that's going on across our Earth and will continue to do so through 2012. And I wish you well, and I'll see you the next time. Take care.